Westbrook, and I am going to show you how to make puppy chow today. The first thing that you're going to need, these are some of the things that you'll need, is rice CHEX, peanut butter, crunchy or creamy, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use crunchy today. A bag of chocolate chips, a bag of powdered sugar, vanilla, a clear bowl for your rice CHEX, and another small bowl to put your chocolate chips and peanut butter and vanilla in to melt. You'll also need wax paper and 2-gallon Ziploc baggies. The first thing we're going to do is measure out 9 cups of rice CHEX and put them in this bowl. Well, about 8.5, because that was a whole box. So basically the 12.8 ounce box, it takes a whole box in order to make this. Okay? And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a half a cup of peanut butter. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to get the peanut butter and put it in here. And just spread it in there. And it's alright if you use a little bit more, a little bit less. It just really depends on how much you like peanut butter. And another thing that you can also do with it, if you really like peanut butter, you can get the peanut butter chocolate chips, and it gives it more of a peanut butter taste instead of the chocolate taste. So we're going to put this into our measuring bowl. And we're going to dump that in there. Okay. And then we need a cup of the chocolate chips. So I'm going to measure a cup of these in here. Okay. And then you need a half of a stick of butter, which is 1/4 a cup of butter. Take this off. Okay. And then, we're going to take it to the microwave. You just stick it in the microwave and you cook it for a minute. Alright, well, it's been a minute, and I'm going to take this out and I'm going to stir it. It has to be really smooth, so you just stir it all up real good, like so, and you stir it. It's still a little bit chunky in the chocolate chip, so it needs another 30 seconds to get it real good and smooth. Alright, it is now done. Alright, now that we've got the peanut butter and chocolate chips melted together, you're going to need a teaspoon of vanilla to mix in with it. That's all you need. And just stir it up some more. Okay. Now we're going to take the rice CHEX, and we're going to take the mixture of the chocolate chips and peanut butter, and we're going to stir it all in here, and it has to be coated evenly. And it's better to use something that isn't going to crunch all of the rice CHEX up, because they're easily crunched. So you have to kind of stir lightly. Get all that out of there. And just kind of flip it around until they all get lightly covered. Alright, and now that we've got them all nice and covered up, and nice and evenly covered up, the next thing that you do, we gotta get a baggie out. You're going to take your baggie, your 2-gallon baggies. A gallon baggie is just not enough room to shake them up, so they have to be the big ones. You're going to measure out 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and very carefully, without spilling any, get it into this bag. My kids love it. It's one of the best snack foods ever, and it's easy to make, it's cheap to make. So, now that we've got it all in the bag, what we're going to do next is I'm going to wipe the bag off, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to seal the bag up, and I'm going to shake the bag. I'm going to shake it real good and get that powdered sugar spread all over everything. Make sure it gets spread good and even, because if not, you'll get big clumps of the peanut butter and the chocolate, which some people like it like that. Some people like the single pieces because it's too sweet or too much for them. Alright, well now that we've got it all mixed up, the next step that we're going to do, and this is why you have your wax paper, you lay your wax paper out on the counter, and you take your CHEX or your puppy chow, and you kind of spread it all over because it's got to dry. And after it gets done drying, after the drying process, and you pick it all back up and you can put it back in the same bag, which that's normally what I do. Or you can put it in a Tupperware airtight container, something where the air is not going to get to it. Okay, and you just kind of shake it out a little bit, and get it all good. And it doesn't matter because it's going to dry no matter what. It just needs some time to sit and dry. And like I said, whenever you get done, you let it dry for about a half an hour or so, and when it's finished, you pack it back up in its bag, and when you're done with that, you can eat it, and you always store it in the refrigerator because it'll get melted, and it's better actually cold than hot normally anyway. So that is basically how you make puppy chow, and enjoy.